Look up in the tree there, Sensei, said the boy, trying to impress his teacher. That is an Erithacus rubecula, a member of the Turdidae thrush family. However, it's now considered to be a mere insectivorous passerine bird. Turdus migratorius is its proper name, but you may know it as a robin.
Ah, a robin. Very good, said the sensei. You know its name. Now, my son, tell me of its habits. Tell me of its thoughts, its mannerisms, its migratory patterns, its mating rituals, and its diet. Does this robin of yours have morals? Does this bird sing in the sun and shy away in the rain? Does it prefer the worm over the cricket? You see, my son, you may know the names of every bird in the world, but when you finish confidently naming them all, you will still know absolutely nothing about the birds themselves. So let's take a more deep look at this bird of yours, this robin, and really see what it's doing. That is what counts, silly boy. Not the name, but what it does in this world. I care of its beauty, not its name, not where it belongs. I care of the bird itself.
That comes from a story that I wrote a long time ago. It's based off of a quote by the physicist Richard Feynman, who died long ago. And you can actually hear the interview when Feynman talks about birds and teaching his students the difference between knowing the name of something and knowing the essence and the principle behind it. You can research Richard Feynman on YouTube and find that particular interview. I learned from my teachers long ago that the difference between knowing the name of something does not mean you know anything about something. This is a really good lesson for all of us to adhere to. Many times in our lives, we'll arrogantly spout out facts while never really knowing what's behind them. The same lesson applies to learning the true meaning of martial arts. And this doesn't apply to just our martial art. It applies to any kata or discipline that you study. Now, there are several great historians out there in the world who know every name of every technique. They know every name of every school. They know the exact date of every battle in history. They're often depicted as what I call armchair enthusiasts. They have an important role in the martial arts, there's no doubt about that. They can be very good at keeping history as accurate as possible. They can convey facts about different katas and weapon statistics that I can't. These historians would have been the noble scribes, they would have been the librarians of days of long ago. They would have assisted the warlord daimyo or the clan leaders by keeping the written form of communication intact and pure. These guys would have written the scrolls. But I call them technique collectors. Many of them have very little physical knowledge of the martial arts. Their martial prowess will be more theoretical in nature rather than experiential. It's important to remember this. It's completely useless to know the name of a technique if you cannot physically perform it correctly. I always say to my students, if you can't show it, then you don't know it. Knowing the names of every kata is only helpful if you're playing a trivia game. It won't keep you alive in battle to know which scroll or school it came from. If you're being attacked, just knowing the name of something is going to get you killed. I would much rather have students have no clue what the name of a technique is, but still be able to perform it under duress. A good teacher has to pull out the principles of each form and kata, and in some cases he has to guess the original intention of the writers. Now, I've been teaching for over 30 years, so it's my job to know the history and the meanings behind the katas, and I do. But I didn't always know what they were. Sometimes I was clueless long ago. I didn't know the names of anything, but I could perform it. But then there came a time in my training where I craved to know exactly where these techniques derived from. I was obsessed with memorizing all of the names and all of the kanji of the school. I strived to know from which school they belonged to and where they should be. I even made my own scrolls, with the techniques written out and drawn out to help me remember. I was fascinated with the word brain part of Budo. And it's most certainly helped me grow as a martial artist and a teacher. I can't recommend it enough. But you won't study these until you're ready. Then something will click and you'll be ready to go into the history. This can be such an enriching growth period in the lifelong martial artist. Studying the history of Budo can help us understand why our lineage kept these techniques safe. But remember, knowing just the names will not guarantee we will win any matches or battles. We must learn the principles of each technique through physical training with a partner and a qualified teacher. Martial arts cannot be learned accurately from any book or video. We must physically go to the dojo and train very hard and for extremely long periods of time. Only after decades of consistent dedication will all of the pieces of the puzzle start to make sense. And even then, there will be many secrets and mysteries that no teacher or his student will ever figure out. And that, my friends, is exactly the way a ninja would have wanted it.